Virginia has been reckoning with its public universities' role in displacement of Black communities, and there have been some important developments. Here are 3 quick takeaways from what I've uncovered in my latest reporting and where things currently stand. First, as my latest story indicates, the state's current investigations are no longer happening in theory, as Virginia officials are now working with actual documentation. Over the past year, a state commission surveyed nearly all 45 public colleges and universities, and at least 11 reported using eminent domain or expanding in ways that displace Black residents. That list included Christopher Newport, Longwood, Old Dominion, Radford, Virginia Commonwealth University, and the Virginia Military Institute. Christopher Newport is also part of a local task force that's been digging into its own history, and recently that group shared new details publicly. Second, questions about accountability and justice, well, they're front and center for families. Families I've spoken to want to know whether these examinations will lead to acknowledgement, responsibility, or even repair. And because the harms span decades, how investigations define who was impacted will be a major signal of what accountability could actually mean for those families. And third, 2026, well, that could bring even more developments on this front. Earlier this month in Newport News, the task force jointly led by Christopher Newport and the city held its first public forum, nearly 2 years into that investigation of how a Black community was pushed out for Christopher Newport's expansion. So far, the group has spent most of its time documenting properties and combing through public records. But that work, plus interviews planned through mid-2026, will drive a final report with recommendations for the college, the city, and the state to possibly consider. I covered this recently for the Virginia Mercury and have been sharing updates from my on-camera sit-down with the task force leaders. Stay tuned for my next clip where I ask about the overall goal of their final report.